Pattern number 1, G Dorian diodes. G, B flat, A, C, B flat, D, C, E, D, F natural, that's our flat 7, and sorry, E, then G. You can see this pattern just keeps repeating. And coming down will be the opposite. B flat, G, da, do, be, do, da, do, de, o, de, do, doesn't really matter where you get it on the on your instrument. I mean, you can think of two different ways of practicing these patterns I'm about to show you, which is across the chord, across the neck, which is kind of horizontal, right across, or vertical, which is just going up. So you might be going, which is a very good exercise, that sort of thing. Or you can practice across two strings or whatever. But the idea behind them is to just hear the music and the sound of them. There's many different ways of practicing them. I just think of the two ways, and you might spend a day practicing one and then a day practicing another. But the point behind these also is to make sure that you're actually doing with methodical, systematic practice, so that you can ensure that there's some kind of forward momentum in your actual learning curve. That's a really, really important thing. Now, so that's two different patterns. The other ones just still using diodes that you can do is to invert the diode. It's a little bit trickier to finger. And then reverse that, so you invert the diode but you're descending now. Okay, so we've got this, blah blah blah, and then inverted, and then I've got to practice my other positions, but yeah, you get the idea. So there's 4 different patterns that you can practice going across, like I was doing, like up and down the neck, vertically, or across the chord. I also did that as well, using staying in position or moving around. The idea is to get to the music and to practice it rhythmically in a way that is, however you get to play, your music. So I get to play a lot of pop, and I get to play a little rock. I get to play heaps and heaps of jazz and funk and blues and swing stuff and Latin stuff. So I might practice in this sense, like trying to play rhythmically, really with the time. Put on a metronome if you can, play with another musician, which is even better, and still use a metronome for your practice, or a backing beat, or play along with your favorite CDs. All of this is fantastic because it makes you think about how this is actually coming up musically. Get someone to vamp for you. Anyway, yeah. So the idea behind that was, just a little insight into how we might play this scale. Now, the next 2 patterns I'm going to show you are 3s and 4s. 3s. 4s. And reverse. 3s. 4s. Okay, so there's another 4 different patterns that you can practice. You can practice them up, going up down the neck again, or across the shapes. I was kind of staying in my 3 notes per string shape there, whatever, however you want to practice it. And you can do the reverse of, so you can come down or invert again and ascend, which is a nice sound, etc, etc. Or you can go up. So we're going to invert the descending 3s. Quite a nice sound. Again. the same thing with fours. And then maybe invert the fours as well. This one I got a pat with any. Needs a bit more practice, a little bit rough, but you get the idea. So there's another 4 different ways of practicing the scale. So there's a lot that we've covered already. Next we're going to look at intervals, and we're going to also look at triad and 7th chord arpeggios using this, still this one same sound.